Frank Ocean killed his career. That is a big headline lately. I don't even know too much about Frank Ocean. I know, well, it's because he hasn't really, I mean, nobody does. But he's been gone for however long, 5-6 years. He finessed the record label, like out of M's. He dropped the album. What's the story? Like, he dropped the album that he dropped an album that he didn't necessarily like with the label, so he can get out of the contract and drop another album independently or something like that. I don't remember what actually happened, but he finessed the label somehow, like a Lil Pump type thing, out of millions, and then he dipped. He took the money and ran off with it. And what I also heard from a comedian, it's like some Indian dude. He talked to Frank Ocean. He asked Frank Ocean how he's okay with or how does he be more rare? Same thing with Cardi, the same concept. And Frank Ocean said, because you just got to be okay with not making as much money. And he was like, damn, because everybody's always trying to make more money. They forget about their own personal life. I bet you Frank Ocean has the best life. He's rich. He probably doesn't have to do anything. He's just getting the residuals off of his music. And then he go get ice cream, whatever. He's secluded. Just wear a hat. You could be like the guy in You, where you're just wearing a hat and you're you could stalk people. Nobody even knows who you're there. Frank Ocean. You could wear a mask. You could be like Kanye. But as I was saying, he was getting a lot of backlash because of Coachella, right? He showed up an hour and a half late. And then because of that, because he was trying to do some alterations to his set. And mind you, he hadn't performed in years. And Frank Ocean headlining Coachella was a huge deal to his fans because, again, he hasn't performed. It's worse than Cardi at that point. Cardi at least is performing. The only time you can see him is when he performs. You know he's going to be there. He may not drop music all the time, but Frank Ocean times 2, 3 doesn't perform and doesn't drop music. People thought he was even retired, basically. But he did claim that he was dropping an album. As I was saying, though, his set was cut short an hour because he got there an hour and a half late. And mind you, he was the headliner. So it's he was the last person. So people were pissed. And then he also was lip syncing. He also didn't perform much. And the way that the screen, I guess, and the whatever alterations to the stage, people couldn't see him. I don't know, man. This is why, I don't know, maybe he lost his sauce. If you're gone for 5 to 6 years, you're putting everything on the line. I know you're rare and you're probably selling a lot of tickets. You're probably getting paid a lot for that one performance. But because people don't see you very often, you got to kill it. And if you mess up on your one time back, look at him. He's getting the Kid Cudi treatment. People throwing, I don't know if this actually happened, but remember when Kid Cudi, after the whole Kanye beef, people were throwing water bottles at him. He's like, if you throw one more what? And then they just hit him in the face. And then he just dipped. He's like, I'm not performing anymore. Cardi lip sync all the time. Yeah, that's true. But I think it's different in Frank Ocean's case because he's an actual singer. When rappers jump around and then legit just do the ad libs, you're expecting that because they're just off lean, off whatever. There's a much more. Frank Ocean is a much. You hold him to a higher standard of artiste, right? He's an actual singer. He doesn't have much effects on his voice in his actual music. So when you expect him to do something on stage, it's a whole performance. Plus, again, this is his first performance 6 years. It's just, you don't want him to be up there like Future or 21 Savage. No hate on them, but they're not the best performers because they're more studio club music. Let's see what else he said. I think Kids Take Over posted it. They did a whole recap on what happened at Frank Ocean's thing. Explaining what happened at Frank Ocean's set. Frank almost dropped out, requesting a significant last-minute change to his stage production. So he was trying to make it big. The stage production was supposed to and did contain an ice rink that was constructed and ready to go. So he might have been paid a lot to go to Coachella, but he probably spent a lot on that too, because I think they have to pay for it themselves, especially if it's, way different than just the regular stage. Frank decided at the last minute that he no longer wanted it. Oh my God. So it's supposed to have an ice rink. And he's like, nah, fuck that. All the people walking around him at the start of the performance were actually ice skaters, had been practicing for weeks, and were supposed to be skating as part of the... Yo, these artists are bipolar. You think that if they'd been planning this for weeks and he already paid for it, he's like, okay, they got to do something. Like, I don't care. Even if I don't want it, we already had it all set up. Just let it go. Coachella had to deconstruct the approved stage that had been planned and signed off for a month. So they probably did that between the different performances and melt the entire ice rink and then set it up how Frank decided today with no warning, which is what you ended up seeing and caused the hour-long delay. This has all happened when doors had already opened for Sunday and people were securing their spots to see him. If the last-minute changes weren't made, he wouldn't have performed at all, leaving the festival. Man, like you expect Frank Ocean to be this nice guy just because, you know, he's a regular guy. He doesn't want to be out in the limelight. But no, this is some diva ass shit, bro. He's like, melt the entire ice rink. And no, it's not like a little, what are they called? Ice luge where you're taking a shot through it. This is like a legit ice rink. It was probably thousands of pounds of ice that they had to melt. What'd they do? Get a flamethrower? Elon Musk was there. Like, my God. He's like that, I guess. Frank can command. He's like Kanye, man. That's the type of shit Kanye would do. Frank also personally pulled the plug at the last second on the live stream, which left a very... Damn. He's like, no one's gonna see this live on the live stream. If you're not here buying tickets, you ain't seeing it. Ultimately, and I quote, it just doesn't seem like he wanted to be there, but was obligated to be. Everything, including him, fell apart last minute. What if bro is just running out of money and he's like, damn, I need to take a couple M's real quick for this Coachella performance just so I can live for the next couple years, or maybe I can retire. He's out of practice too. He hasn't done it in a while. Don't expect to see any coverage from the festival about the set, something that is unprecedented in the history of Coachella. The relationship is not in a good place right now. You would defend Ye for it because he actually drops music? I guess. I mean, I see why fans are pissed. Because again, they don't get fed any music or anything. The last thing Frank Ocean dropped was not even music. It was a cock ring. Like a golden cock ring. I don't know who's buying that. I'm not even gonna say anything, but yeah, I can see how it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. Because like Coachella tickets are $500. They actually stole $500 from me years ago because I bought a ticket before the pandemic. The year the pandemic happened, and then they didn't have the next one till 2022. And then I was trying to refund the ticket because I didn't want to go in 2022. And then they lost my ticket, and it's supposed to be like a digital one. It was supposed to have like an ID and everything. And I couldn't ever like sell the ticket or refund it. I hit up customer service. Fuck Coachella, low key. Stole $500 from me. He confirmed an album though.
I want to talk about why I'm here, because it's not because of a new album. It's because, not that there's not a new album, it's like... Okay, good.
So he says there's a new album.
But there's not right now. No, it's not right now, it's not right now. But, just hold on.
Not right now though. So expect it in like 2 to 3 years. The reason Frank wanted to do Coachella was because of his memories with his late brother, okay? Due to him showing up, he had blue hair. Artist, man. Once you get famous, I guess you just think that you hot shit.